Alright guys, so today what I'm doing is I'm going to be adding some hood spacers to the Versa. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to make the hood stick up a little bit. At the end of the video I'll include a picture of before and after. But basically it's just going to let a little more air flow up through here and get out of the car, get out of the hot engine bay. So I will get to it. And I'll leave the camera rolling so you can see. Okay, so there's one nut taken out. Now I gotta be careful because this is gonna want to fall as soon as I move it. So put something here. There we go. Okay. So what I've just done is I've added a little bit of extra support here because this is going to want to fall as soon as I take out this nut. So I have to be very careful. It's held up by here, and then I've got this 2x4 holding it in there just to make sure we don't run into any issues. So I'm just going to take off that other bolt. Hopefully you can still see. Okay, I can now move it pretty freely without it going anywhere. So be a problem. Okay, so now I've got it off. I gotta add my washers. I gotta space it out. I only brought 3 of them over here, so I've got to put one of these back on and hold it in place. That was stupid. Okay. Almost lost the bolt. Be careful not to do that. These are just, they're like a 1/4 inch washer. So I'm going to add 4 of them to each. Let's see how that looks first. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a 4th. So I basically just brought it up about a 1/4 inch. The only thing you gotta be careful of when you're doing this is to make sure that it's still got enough bolt left to put your nuts on. Make sure you tighten that up. There we go. So that's one side done. Alright, so that's one side all done. I'll give you a little close-up shot. So before, it's hard to see because the lights go from the side. So before, there was no gap here, obviously. It was touching. Now there's that little gap. There's 4 washers under each of those bolts. It's just a 13mm bolt. Now we're going to do the other side. This side's going to be a little more tricky because there's nothing holding it up here. I don't have that over here. So I might need another piece of wood to hold it up. But I'll skip through that. You don't have to watch all that. And I'll get back to you when I'm done. Alright. So, you can see it now. I've got both sides done. Got a nice little gap. Just got to tighten these up. You can have a friend help you with this. But I think it's just easier to use the 2x4. 2x4 is not going to get tired or move. So I think it's easier to just use a 2x4. I'm just going to tighten these right up. And then we'll put the hood down and see what it looks like. And you may notice if you're doing these are painted after they're put on. You can see it's painted the same painted body color. These are painted after they're put on. So they will seem a little tight. You'll have to crack them and break the seal a bit, I guess you could call it. As you can see right there. Well, see, you can see that line because it wasn't painted prior. So you might have to do that. It might feel a little hard, but don't worry about it. Just take this out. Now we're going to very carefully close the hood for the first time with the spacers. you got to do it carefully because you have, there we go, so it closed fine. Go over and look over here, and there is more gap now, just a little bit more. It's not really noticeable. I could have probably gone one less washer, but, and like I said, I'll show you a before and after photo, show you what it looks like, but looking at it, you really can't tell that much. If you look at it from the side, it might look weird, but really, that's not that big of a gap. Some people will run a 1-inch gap. This is like, I'd say this is like 5/16. It's a little over 1/4 of an inch, so not bad. I'm going to show you those before and after pictures right now. Alright, so right here you can see it's right around 2/8 inch. If I bring it over to the side here, we're looking at about a 3/8 inch gap. It's just because of the way the metal is shaped. But so, right around a 1/4 of an inch gap I'm running now. It's not very much, but you know, it helps. Get a little more airflow going on. So, I might actually just remove this trim here and really let the air flow, because this will seal up against that. So, that's all we got for today. See you guys later.